day and welcome to this week's live hangout where we take you behind the hot stories making headlines in today's Mail and Guardian. Today we're talking about the ANC elective conference in Mangaung, which starts this weekend. Can you give us a brief background? What is this conference all about?
Okay, this is a conference of ANC branches to review policy positions of this ruling party. They will do self-inspection of the organization to see where they're doing right, where they're struggling, where they're failing, what needs to be improved. They will debate the direction that the country is taking, and if the ANC is happy with that direction, or if there's a need for improvement or for change of other things. And eventually, the big thing, they will elect new leadership.
Now, moving on to our next question from a reader. It's from one of our readers in Cape Town who expresses a common sentiment about this entire conference. He asks, seeing as merit and quality leadership doesn't really come into it, but it's rather just clever political play, how much political debt is our president in? And what is that cost to the people of South Africa, since he can't buy support with his own money?
Virginie, I think our president is highly indebted. If you look at it politically and if you look at the financial side of it, in the real world, currently, you don't get people dishing out money to friends the way they've been channeling money to him. And also politically, particularly in the ANC, trying to get people to secure you a position as high as the presidency, it doesn't come cheap. It comes at a price, and it becomes a disadvantage to the country when these people who are rewarded with political office fail to perform, or they get involved in corrupt activities, because that's where the president needs to act, harshly if it calls for that. So if you have rewarded people with political office positions and then they do not perform, what do you do when you know that it's actually these people that got you to where you are? Absolutely. You tend to be lenient towards them.
And that's about a lot of concern around Zuma, is it not? That there's possibly that danger of, given how much debt he has to different friends that he's accumulated over the years.
Well, it does, but it's things that happen in politics generally. It's not just about Zuma. It's the culture in the ANC that is growing, that affects almost every politician in the ANC who gets to the highest political office or the highest public office. It comes at a price, and it depends on how that person handles it.
Now, Rapule, we have a rather plaintive comment from one of our Facebook fans. His name is Norman, and he says, in response to our Mangaung stories, give us a break. This is especially the time of year for love and light, not infighting, graft, corruption, and hate speech. The ANC has given us enough of that the whole year. Rapule, is there a sense amongst our readers that they're tired of hearing about these issues? And if so, why should they shake off their end of the year fatigue and pay attention to the conference?
Well, you ignore this conference at your own peril, you know, because this is a conference which will take important decisions about this country's economy, this country's political situation. Us in the media, we are worried what decisions are they going to take about regulating the media. And yes, all of us are a little bit tired. It's end of the year, and all of us want to go and spend time with our family. But we've got to pay attention to what's going to happen here, because the repercussions will be with us for a long time, and I think it will be quite short-sighted to just ignore it.
Now, Rapule, before I let you go, there's a question from one of our readers on Twitter, and they've asked, where do you think that Mmanaledi is going to become ambassador to? I think it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek question, because there's a sense that, oh, you know, Mmanaledi is losing now, what's he going to do? What would Mmanaledi's future entail if he doesn't make it as president or deputy president?
He would lose out in terms of influence within the ANC. But personally, if you remember, he's a former president of the country. He was there for 8 months after Mbeki had been removed. So he's entitled to all the privileges that comes with being a former president. So in terms of that personal situation, he's a short of a lifetime salary, bodyguards, offices, and all. But I think my sense is that he would have wanted to be in the ANC. He's worried about where the ANC is going, and he thinks he can take it in a different direction, and he would have loved to do that. And I think if he does go out, it is something that he would regret.
Mmanaledi, is there any other last thoughts on your part about the conference? Any last things you want to impart to our readers before we end this conversation?
Mangaung is the most contested conference so far since the ANC was unbanned. And if you can see there are 4 candidates for deputy president position. It's important that all of us watch it. And I mean, all of us South African citizens, everyone who resides in South Africa, because eventually the decisions that are taken in Mangaung might form part of government policy. But also another important reason we should watch it is because it will give us an idea of where the ANC is going as we build up to the 2014 general elections.
Both President Zuma and Deputy President Motlanthe should be careful that this country should not go down with Mangaung. You know, much as Mangaung is important, that's not the end of the world. Whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses. There's still another conference that's coming up in 5 years. Mangaung is not the end of the world.